Hey, welcome to episode 11 of my vlog. I'm doing this every day, um, and I don't know. It's been kind of a crazy day. I've slept quite a bit. Um, really, just tons of really deep dreams that seem so realistic and even mundane. So much of it, but yeah, just weird stuff. It's almost like parallel worlds. They seem so realistic. Dreams are just so. Dreams are like 80 or 90% of my life. I sleep a lot. So I don't know. But it's hard not to. I mean, I think like, well, what if I was living. Excuse me, my allergies are really bad. If I was living in a jungle, these dreams, what would they. Yeah, I would think they were real, right? I mean, it would be like, okay, this is, at night I go into some other world. I become somebody else. Now, when the cats are laying around me, I see them dreaming. They're flinching. Sometimes Jack, my cat Jack, sometimes he has really horrible dreams. There was a period when he was young. I didn't know him then, but he got loose and was gone for several weeks when he was little, and I guess he just terrorized. I mean, like out in the wilderness or something. And I always wonder if that's what he's dreaming about, is trying to survive. But he has these horrible dreams, and it breaks my heart to see the cats. And us, not, Dexter, not so much. Marceline dreams, but it's almost like she's dreaming of chasing something and getting it and torturing it. It seems like she's the victor in her dreams. But Jack, he's got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, he has really deep, seemingly violent dreams, and he will cry. I mean, he will cry in his sleep, and it just tears me up. I have those kind of dreams too. Most of my dreams are being chased and uh, by monsters and things like that. Sometimes I have dreams where I'm in school. It's some just different school that I've never seen before. I don't know the people. Never met these people before, and I'm in this school, and it's like pressure tests and stuff all the time. It there are times in the dreams where I'll meet a reoccurring character from other dreams where it's like, oh wow, I know this person, and it's a person that I've never met in my life, but I've met them in the other dreams. Now, I don't know if that's just something that my mind is making me think. Oh, okay, this is, it could be these characters, these reoccurring characters, are just constructs of a personality type that my mind is using to test me in some way. Like, how would I deal with this kind of person? I don't know. Sometimes there's people that are so angelic, or I have this reoccurring dream about this woman who looks not unlike like Tilda Swinton, but not like Tilda Swinton, but kind of like Tilda Swinton, and she's really angelic. She doesn't say anything; she just stares. And when I see her, finding uh, it's like finding a parent that you, or like well, basically a parent that you haven't seen in a long time, and she'll make me weep. I mean, I'll wake up crying. Um, but anyways, tonight I started watching Alex Gibney. He's like one of my favorite filmmakers right now. I think the guy is just brilliant. He did the Going Clear, the Scientology documentary, and this one is kind of interesting because it's about Steve Jobs and his life at Apple and about Apple. It's sort of going from one cult, to another cult. And I've been a Mac user as far back as the Apple II. I think I've had every, minus the Lisa and the Next. I think I've had every major, you know, model of computer from Apple, and of course, the iPads and the or what am I the like the well, like I'm on an iPhone right now, but and I remember, you know, when Steve Jobs died, I was really surprised. Everybody, I was surprised that people that I knew that didn't care about the technology was caught up in the in the drama and the trauma and everything about Steve Jobs. But anyway, this documentary is really great. I'm actually only about halfway through, but I'm in the part where they're talking about Be Here Now, the Ram Dass book, which I've read numerous times and loved, and the sort of the contradictions that he was, where he was maniacal. It was megalo. What was it? Where monomaniacal, where you're so obsessed with something. I mean, sometimes the hours, it was like 24/7 for him, and he'd just be wearing these other people out, and how he was, for some people on certain days of the week, the bestest guy that could be, and then sometimes he was just a complete asshole, and treated people so cruelly, and but I have a lot of books about him, and I mean, I've never been one to you know overly praise him, because I don't really understand. I mean, I always sort of looked at him as sort of a Andy Warhol or a Walt Disney type, where you're just going through and you're pollinating the people that you've hired, and you're finding the genius in them and bringing it forward. And there's a lot of the Jeff Koons art kind of makes me think of Steve Jobs, where Jeff Koons doesn't actually make any of his stuff. He just has other people doing it. Probably a little bit like Damien Hirst, a little bit. Although I never get that feeling very much with Damien Hirst. But I was just like, I got these books and these quotes and all this stuff, and I think, okay, well, how could I turn that, that level of intensity and focus to make my life better? And I just don't see myself doing that. I just don't think I'm that kind of person. Uh, I am. I'm not searching. I don't think I'm searching for that enlightenment. But there's a great part in the documentary. It's actually Steve Jobs' Man in the Machine, Alex Gibney documentary, and it's on Netflix. So you should check it out. But he was searching for enlightenment, and then he finds it, but he hasn't really changed himself. So there's like a lot of talk about how he blew it because he found enlightenment before he had to deal with the ego, before he dealt with the ego. And so his ego was there. It's like I think they call it the golden chain. I'm not really sure. I think that's what Ram Dass called it. And so everyone, like close to him was like, well, he blew it, because it always makes me that Easy Rider thing, where Captain America says, we blew it, and Dennis Hopper's like, what do you mean we blew it? Like, we succeeded, we sold, So I don't know. I'm getting older. Time is running out for me. I realize I have less years. I have more years behind me than I have in front of me. Maybe I just don't want things nearly as much as someone like Steve Jobs. And I don't know. I'm not. There's no way to really compare because I'm not anything like that. But it's one of those things where, is it going to be one of the regrets that I didn't try harder to make my life better, or my life better for others? when I'm close to the end. Like, should I have slept less? Should I have been more serious? Should I examined things with more focus? I also wondering, like, what was, if there are past lives? What happened in my past life? I mean, I feel like I must have been a hard worker, someone who worked really hard and had nothing left to show for it. So would rather have a life of experiences that dealt with feeling and uh, experiencing rather than plowing ahead. And so I don't know. I could just be making all this up. I probably am, and it could be the allergy medication and the pain. I'm still doing the pain medication, but I'm trying to stop. But anyway, you should check that movie out, Man in the Machine, Steve Jobs. I thought it was pretty good, and well, I guess that's it. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. I most certainly will talk to you tomorrow because I'm doing this as a daily vlog. All right, adios.